Alright, hey everybody out there on YouTube. Tonight's video, trying to decide what I was going to talk about, watching some videos on YouTube, and I got a few subjects I'm going to cover here as best as I can, a short little video. First thing I'm going to go ahead and talk about is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some videos out there on YouTube, lots of stuff that's been reported on throughout the history of his career. I mean, it's not like it's a big secret just now coming out about who this guy is, but there's some interesting facts that a lot of people probably wouldn't know. I didn't know until not too long ago myself that Arnold Schwarzenegger's father was a Nazi. Not just a Nazi, he was an elite. He was part of the SS. He's the top of the line. Also, the man who his mother married after his father died, I guess, also Nazi, SS, elite. The best there is. So I'm reading people's comments on videos and I see things like, so what, his father and stepfather was a Nazi, that doesn't mean he is. Well, unfortunately, most of the time, now I can't say this because I don't know the man personally, I don't know Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I can't be 100% sure on this, but I can be 99% sure when I say that if anyone who's ever known any white supremacists, racists like that, then you know that they raise their children to be the same way, to embody the same values. They drill it into them, just like religion. It's something that they are told, this is the way it is, this is the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. And so in this man's mind, yes, he probably is a Nazi. 99% he's a Nazi. He has said that he wants to be a world dictator. He has dreams of him walking amongst the people of the world as their ruler. This is a man who very seriously, he said he loves Hitler. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's not speculation. He said it. It's a quote, people. So for all you out there who want to leave comments and just start fights with the conspiracy theorists, just remember that most of what they're saying has plenty of fact backed up behind it. So odds are, yes, this dude is probably a Nazi. So from there, we're going to go to the debunkers of conspiracy theorists. Now, I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. I have my own beliefs. Everybody's got their own beliefs. That's great. Everybody should have their own beliefs. The problem I have is with the so-called debunkers of the 9/11 truth movement and other such conspiracies. One of the most common things I see in comments and videos from the so-called debunkers is that the conspiracy theorists never bring any evidence. Well, that's not true. There's plenty of evidence. There's plenty of facts out there. And they always say there's no facts, there's no facts. But there is. Like, fact, buildings do not implode on themselves. Fact, the World Trade Center, the towers were they were built, they were designed to withstand plane crashes from bigger planes moving at faster speeds than that. The flames from the fucking planes crashing into the towers, those could not fucking melt steel, not structural steel. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't get hot enough, not for long enough to do it. Okay, those are facts. Those are pretty straightforward facts, not to mention the number of people who have come out with information. And these are credible people. It's not like these are just fucking crazy out there people that come out of nowhere and say this shit. These are people who work in the governments. They work in these organizations, secret organizations. The motherfucking, like, it's even hard to talk about this because sometimes I do get a little upset about it. For people who think that our government, or any government for that, doesn't have a secret government that pulls the strings behind it, that's kind of ridiculous. To think that your government wouldn't fucking sacrifice a bunch of people to prove a point or achieve an objective. They've been doing it forever. And it's not like this is something new. It's not like these conspiracies just come out. The thing about conspiracy theories is there tends to be a trend with conspiracy theories. Usually it's a conspiracy theory until about 20 years later when the government declassifies some documents and then the evidence and the proof is right there. And it's exactly what people have said. But before that time that the shit was declassified, it was nothing but a conspiracy theory. Just like now, there's a lot of people out there that say, just conspiracy nuts. Well, let me tell you something. Conspiracy nuts are motivated. They find out things. They find information. And I'm not saying that's all of them, because there's a lot of people in the conspiracy out there who aren't doing any of their own research. Do some research. I mean, seriously, you really need to do your own research and look up the facts. Check some things out. But don't fucking just run off at the mouth like you know all about the conspiracies because you watched a few videos on YouTube. Just do some research. Now, back to the debunkers. You guys make your own videos and claim that they debunk things, but they never have any actual facts neither. There are usually more speculation in those videos than there is in the conspiracy theory, supposed conspiracy theorist videos. So yeah, it kind of irritates me. I'm just saying, I mean, everybody should really do their own research. History is the best place to do research. Look through history, people. If you don't believe that your government would sacrifice you, look at what we know for a fact, what they've admitted to doing in the past. Everything that you need to know is there in history. We're supposed to learn from this, to change the future, to learn lessons from it. But we haven't been. People are stupid. People have gotten comfortable. People are happy living in a little box, and I don't know why. I mean, sure, you think that you have a good life, especially Americans, man. Some of the most worthless people on the planet. And it's not that they're bad people. They're just so used to being herded like sheep, and they're happy that way because they haven't known any other life, and they don't want any other life. They don't want anything to be hard or difficult for them. And this is where the debunkers come in, because these are the people who don't want it to be hard and difficult for them. So they make a lot of silly videos and a lot of silly supposed debunking videos to try and make the conspiracy theorists look crazy, but your videos have absolutely no fact. So people bring some fact. This goes for on both sides, conspiracy theorists too. And all of you, when you make your comments and then somebody argues with you or somebody throws up a fact, and for the people who don't have a brain in their head, who didn't do research, who can't argue any facts, you always turn to insulting people like Rosie O'Donnell, who's for the 9/11 Truth Movement. She's on a video, she's talking, she's doing a good thing, trying to help the first responders, trying to help people who deserve help, who are dying because our government doesn't care. And so I watch the video, then I go to read the comments. And what are the comments? Instead of being about the issue, instead of what she's talking about, all you motherfuckers can talk about is her looks, how fat she is, how ugly she is. What the fuck does that have to do with what the fucking video was about in the first place? Not a goddamn thing. So let it go already. Yeah, other than that, I don't know really where I'm going to go with this video. I might actually make some more talking more in depth about this. I'm not sure. But I guess the basic message is here. People study history, do some research, look at where things tie together. Just because it seems like a crazy conspiracy doesn't mean that it's not true. It just means that you don't believe it yet. You might believe it. There's people every day waking up because they see something that makes sense. And there's a lot of stuff out there. You don't have to get into the far out conspiracies. You don't need the Illuminati, the reptilian people. There's plenty of real conspiracies. It could easily be a war for oil. It could be bankers taking over the world. It could even be the state of Israel really controlling everybody, pulling the strings. I mean, I don't want to come off and say the Jews are evil or nothing like that, because it's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying any one of those conspiracies could be true. And through my own research, I found a lot of things that connect all of these things in certain ways that suggest that there's a lot of truth to each of them. That's because I do my own research. But that's my own personal opinions, my own personal beliefs. I have them. You have yours. And that's great. I want you to. But before you open your mouth and start making comments and trying to debunk people or trying to prove a conspiracy is true, do some research. Sound intelligent about it. At least try to. I mean, whew, boy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm probably going to bring this video to a close now. But I guess the basic gist is, people, open up your minds a little bit. At least do some research. At least study history and find out about the shit that's been done. That there are plenty of hard facts that the mainstream media will verify, that you can get from any of the mainstream sources you trust. There's plenty of evidence out there. The problem is that you believe it was done for different reasons. Watch some news from other countries, Americans. Stop watching the American news. Use YouTube for something valuable. Watch news from around the rest of the world, and you will see just how different it is, how much they don't tell us, and what kind of useless crap they put on our news to keep us distracted from going out and paying attention to what's really going on around the world. There is a control tactics there. That's a fact. Because I've done my research, because I watch news from around the world, because I check things out. Independent documentaries, watch those. Independent journalism. The people that aren't saying what they're told to say for big paychecks, watch them. Pay attention to what they have to say. Alright, y'all. I'm out.